FPV in 2025 is serious business, and if you want to break into the video side of thing, not only does a product need to be good, it needs to be good enough to beat some of the big boys out there like DJI, hdzero, and also Walksnails. Stuart M here, and today you're going to ingest some knowledge. Can't do that. I think that's like Mad Tech's intro. G'day, Stu from UAVfutures here, and today we are looking at the Edge T3 video system, and it actually does need to be taken seriously. All jokes aside, we're going to do a bit of a first impressions, we're going to fly it around, and we're going to talk about some pros and cons about this system because it's not going to be for everybody. And spoiler alert, there's some things in here that it's doing a little bit differently that maybe some other companies need to take note of. But before we get started, check out these review conditions that I was sent so I could make this video. A bit of a behind the scenes. Check out this for some recommendations on Stu. This is how you should do the review. Suggested review content directions. They want to see some real world testing, some horizontal comparisons with its competitors. Look at this. Must be objective and neutral? What? A technical analysis and solutions to the user pain points? Well, they want me to talk about things I don't like and some ideas to improve. And then encouraging creative content. What sort of review am I meant to do now? An honest, objective review that talks about some of its problems and maybe some possible solutions we can offer? Well, I gotta say hats off to them because that's what we're gonna be doing in this video. You're gonna see my very first flights on how does this go. We're also gonna be talking about who is this system not for, because spoiler alert, it is not for everybody. We're gonna hook it up to my goggles right here. The Walksnail, we're gonna probably be talking about them in just a little bit, but let's go around the outside, talk about the unit itself before you see some of the things I liked and also some of the struggles I had with it. Now, if you buy the complete system, I think it's about $280 or $270 or something. I'm going to link it down below. It comes with an air unit and also the VRX. Now we'll talk about the air unit itself. The whole system, it's streaming in 1080p. It says ultra latency, but look, it's 60 milliseconds of delay, so it's not gonna be for you racers or anything like that. It does some onboard recording, it's 1080p, and then it is all streaming back to this little box right here. Now I gotta say, so there's some things about this box that I like and also things that I don't like. So it does have an internal battery, which I think is pretty cool. It's a pretty compact little form factor. However, if you are the sort of person that likes to buy a set of goggles and then maybe you're strapping like on an extra VRX on the front, like I know Walksnail, hdzero has some as well. This, it's it doesn't make it easy, and that is for two reasons. Number one, if you have a look right here, these patch antennas, the obvious solution for a lot of them is sort of to bolt it to the front like that, but then they're going to be pointing way up into the sky. And then you might be saying, hey Stu, that's fine because I want to use this with a ground station. Like if you're one of those bizarre people who flies with a ground station, maybe you're a fixed wing pilot who likes long range, so you're seriously considering this. You might be saying, hey, that's no issue for me. I fly with a ground station all the time. Yeah, well, if that's the case, why is there no screw holes or mounting options here? Like it's literally just a box, small nitpicking detail. But what I would absolutely love, and look, I'm sure this isn't too difficult for them to implement in the future because these are just early units, is just give us some sort of mounting options on the bottom, like a screw thread, like when we have on our GoPros, or some sort of clip that we can attach and get with this, because then we can simply put on our tripod. This bad boy right here that I didn't need to use a Velcro strap and have it awkwardly hanging around. So yeah, that's my first complaint. Number two, what you don't get in the box and what you need to actually do is connect this up to your goggles using some specific cables. So you'll notice on the outside, we've got like our on and off button, our menu button, a couple of USB-C ports, all that sort of stuff. Like the technical specs are going to be down below. However, you need a USB-C to HDMI cable to get this to connect up to your goggles or whatever you're going to be flying with, to your ground station, to your computer. Not everybody has that cable. Just include it in the box. I don't know why they haven't done that from the get-go. Like if they just put that inside here, it'll make it so much more easy. I had to use like a dongle that I have, HDMI out, and it's like USB-C. So it was like a bit of a pain trying to connect that up. If you need that specific cable, like the Edge T3 guys, just include that in the box or change this to I would much prefer a HDMI out on the side of the goggles here. I think that's a much better solution. And then finally, and this is where things got a little bit tricky for me, you're going to see this in the comparison video because what you actually see between the unit and what is actually recorded are two different things. I wanted to record some flights on this, but it's a little bit tricky because there's no DVR space to actually record the video that's getting sent to you. Yeah, you can record on board with the air unit right here, but in terms to actually see what you guys are seeing, maybe you want to see your telemetry or any of that sort of stuff, you need some way to record this. This doesn't have like a little SD card or anything like that. Like, you know how when you get your CADX, you get your hdzero, you get DJI, you put your SD card in and it records it? whoo, that's great. That's not the case here. So for me, I had to fly by connecting this up to my computer, and then I'm flying, it's looking at my OBS, like my streaming computer. I'm flying, looking at my computer monitor while the drone is flying out the back. So you're gonna see that as well. Now look, there goes my bit of a rant. This is the important part though. We're gonna go for a flight. You're gonna see my very first impressions, and then I'm gonna show you the DVR comparison between what you actually see and what is getting recorded on board. So let's go do that, and then we'll come back to the studio in 3, 2, 1. I do like how it's got an inbuilt battery, so let's turn this on. There we go, plug it in. There we go. Something I do like as well, like even though I don't have a signal from the drone yet, I'm already getting like some OSD or little lines to let me know that we are getting a signal from the receiver unit. So let's plug this in. Oh, you know what might help? My radio, bloody hell. I have video. It's up the right way because I did put the camera in upside down, even though after I specifically made a note about which way. We are armed. All right, we've taken off. Now, first impressions straight off the bat, I have to say the colors look absolutely gorgeous. These goggles, I think, are making it look as good as it can. I'm impressed, but I am noticing a few little like bit rate issues or things like that. Like the grass is looking a little bit muddy, a little bit messy. And it's handling the breakup just a little bit. Now, it's kind of wild to me that this isn't a system, like this is a pretty new system on the market. I don't have the OSD set up correctly in terms of the telemetry or anything like that. And I'm not even too sure just how much actually gets like recorded on here. I don't know what the file is going to be like. It says that it's recording on board, but I don't know how much of the OSD that's going to display. But first impressions, like visually, looking at this, it's pretty bloody good for a system no one's ever heard of. Now, I'm gonna go try and fly around us, behind us a little bit, which is out of the signal gain and that sort of stuff. Let's see, I'm really interested in how the signal actually breaks up, because it's still perfectly clear, and we're like right up the back of the property right now. I am just coasting. I don't know why we're not getting any breakup back there. Like I was not expecting that. Like it barely seemed to have any difference. I definitely need to tune those OSDs out and those sorts of things and get that all set up. Ghost branches absolutely are making it difficult to see. Like trying to spot some of those when you're going through, it's very, very difficult. I wonder if the onboard is going to be looking any different. This one probably going to give us a really good example right here. So the branches do blend in. You don't know that fidelity or that detail. Like that looks like a pretty muddy mess when there's a lot of noise across the screen and you have to pick between like what's close and the shadows and the lights and darks and that sort of stuff. It's not as good as CADX. It's not as good, of course it's not going to be as good as DJI. However, in terms of image quality for the price and what you actually get, it's kind of nice. Now, where are my OSD? I'm not too sure what's going to happen. I'm going to bring it in for a landing and see what happens with the DVR file. Because I'm also not too sure, like, how do we stop this DVR if it's just going to keep recording? So hopefully this is going to save. I guess it doesn't matter what I do, I've got to power that down. So I wonder if there's a button I can press on the, I should take this off. If there's a, look, I want to say there is a deep dive coming, but in terms of like first impressions flying this thing around, so far, it looked pretty nice. Like I'd give the image quality a 6, 6.5 out of 10 if I had to, just off the bat. In these default settings, we're going to muck around with it. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to try and record some of what I'm seeing in terms of the breakup on the computer there. So we're going to change this setup so you can see what it's like, because it's kind of hard to record HDMI in. So I've got to plug it into my streaming setup with OBS and all that sort of stuff. But let's do that now so you can see some of the breakup that I was talking about that might not be apparent on the recording unit. So you can see exactly what I'm seeing. So let's do that now with the magic of editing. All right, this is pretty wild. So here you can see my tripod that I've got set up. It's going through the house, focusing out the back. There's the dongle that it's all attached to, and I'm feeding that into my streaming setup. So that's how I'm actually recording this, and I'm flying by looking at my computer monitor sitting inside. So definitely a weird experience. So please don't judge me on my flying. Here's the OSD that you can see when you're cruising around. Mine isn't set up correctly, so I probably need to switch the RX and the TX pads right here. But you will notice
it like sort of comes in, not in and out of focus, but like the bit rate that you were seeing, like everything you can see, and then it drops out a little bit and it's a lot more muddy. And there's actually some really good, like those wires there, I didn't even know that they were there when I was trying to cruise around. So it's sort of, I can't recommend it for fast freestyle or racing or anything like that. Like it looks great here. If we are cruising around, everything looks in focus. It looks fantastic. The colors look bright. I do really like it, but when you're trying to find that detail that can get lost, like whether that be like a lot of grass or a lot of ghost branches or strange leaves, lights and darks against a bright background, it's very, very tricky to try to do some flying through or be able to accurately see what you're looking at. So if you look at that tree right there in the middle, it's like a bit of a brown glob. It looks like you're watching YouTube on a really low resolution. And this is before it's actually uploaded. So it may look even worse than this when you're actually watching it. So I don't know, this flight, I know it's not any crazy fast response or anything like that. It's definitely not a good latency test because I'm flying it while looking at my computer, but you can see how the image is just sort of, it's the way that it's handling that digital breakup by marrying it, like, or smearing it. I'm not too sure the exact term, which is something that CADX or DJI don't do. But overall, I have to say it's still better than I was expecting. And when it is in focus, it does look really good. I tried to come in and do a landing right here for mine. There's me hunched over.
So what do I actually think about this system? I have to say, I do like it. I think it does deserve to be taken seriously. It is in a nice form factor, and a couple of little changes really could push this up a notch for me. Number one, like an easy one, change that mounting solution. It'll make it heaps easier. Find some way, maybe even then goggles and pilots can get together and come up with some crazy 3D prints. It really is sort of made for some ground stations though, so just give us those little screw attachments or whatever, those thread holes, whatever you want to call it. Number two, I don't like the USB-C to HDMI out. That's easy fix, just include that in the box. And then number three, and this one's probably a little bit more work behind the scenes, I would love a way that we could record our DVR flights as well directly in this unit without having to plug it into the computer and those sorts of stuff, because not everybody's going to have the ability to record that DVR or that HDMI in. This would make this system go a long way, especially when you're comparing it to like Walk Snail, DJI, and also hdzero, which basically do that natively out of the box. Now, in terms of the actual flight experience, I don't think currently it is doing enough to make me want to switch from any of the other systems. It really handles breakup in quite an obscure way where it can look really, really clear if the bit rate's good, and then it breaks down and it seems like, I don't know, it says it's doing some AI imaging or something like that, but there's a lot of times like the ghost branches, I just don't have that visual clarity or fidelity for me to be able to see and be like, oh, that's what that is there. It just looks like a bit of a garbled mess. It looks like Walk Snail on its worst day when it's really struggling with the bit rate. That's what it's like. However, this is very, very early days for the system, and I do have high hopes for it. I think there's a lot of improvements coming, especially like with OpenIPC and all that sort of stuff. There's a lot of work that is coming to this side of the video market. So who is this for? Who might get it? I would say it's for people who want to be like trying some new tech out there. Maybe you want to do some long range. It's definitely sort of suited to like those fixed wing. You don't need ultra low range latency. It's not going to be for racing or anything like that. And even if I would struggle to recommend this for like freestyle pilots who are flippy flopping through trees because you can't see those tiny little ghost branches. But overall, I got to say, I do like it. Value for money. It's up against some tough competition as well, especially when you look at the price of everything, when you can get like the Goggles L, or you can even get VRX units for very, very similar prices that come with like a Moonlight camera. I think if I put that on the screen, I think that's like $340, or with a 1S kit, the CADX system is like $280 or something. So it is up against some tough competition, but I have high hopes for this system and I can't wait to see what they bring to market in the future. Remember, this is a bit of a prototype that you're seeing, so it's only going to get better from here, or at least that's what I'm hoping. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that. Go check out like this video, a goggle comparison, if you're after some better digital in today's market of 2025. And as always, happy flying.